Welcome to day 40.
57.
48 and 54 for me. I don't know.
57.
Yeah, something like that.
It's 57 for me and 57 probably.
I thought it was 54, but I might have missed 3 days. Who knows?
This is 7 iron and Teaparty and sideways. And we're heading out. I've got 18 miles back to Weary Feet Hostel, and they're gonna keep going, or not. But it's a beautiful day. We just got dropped off from Julie from the Weary Feet Hostel, which is north of here. So now I'm going to hike back to the hostel. She dropped us off south here, and I'm going to hike back up north. And I'm slack packing, so that's really cool. And Micah too. Here we go. And sometimes the trail is along a road, which is what we're doing right now. We're walking along the road, and there's Teaparty behind me, and there's sideways in front of me, and in front of him is 7 iron. And we are definitely on the trail according to Far Out, and we're going to be ducking into the woods soon, but right now we're on a road. And I'm glad it's early in the day, because at 2 o'clock in the afternoon this would be super hot. But right now it's about 73 degrees. It's 9 in the morning, and we're marching on. All right, we'll check in with you later. We just had lunch at the Jenny Knob shelter. It was a nice water source, which was good because the creek earlier in the hike was all dried up. Although Micah went downstream, and I think he found some water. I saw him digging and drinking, so he must have found something. But yeah, there was plenty here at the shelter. So we had lunch there, and there was a couple of other hikers too. A couple that I had seen before. Teaparty and Sideways and 7 Iron also came. They had lunch there too. Sideways and 7 Iron are going to spend the night in the wilderness. They're going to hike a little bit further. And Teaparty decided that he's going to go back to the shelter, which is too bad because he's carrying his whole pack. He could have slack packed. Teaparty is 75 years old. He's a retired dentist, and he's unbelievable. I hope I can hike like him when I'm 75 years old. But yeah, nice group of guys. Sideways owned a tackle shop, and also had a very other interesting career in the 70s and 80s. And maybe I'll interview him and let him tell you about his first career. And 7 Iron was employed by GE, and he was in nuclear medicine. So they're all retired now, but not me. I'm on sabbatical. I'm not retired. Anyway, it's amazing too. When I tell people that I'm on sabbatical, most people say, "Oh, are you a teacher?" I don't know. Do teachers generally go on sabbatical? I don't know. But I explained to them, no, I'm not a teacher. Although I'm a clinical instructor, but I'm not a teacher in the schools. Anyway, so we had a very nice lunch at around 2:30. Had a later lunch today. Honestly, I was so full from that delicious breakfast that we had at the hostel that Julie made for us. 2 big pancakes, about the size of my face, and farm fresh scrambled eggs that she got from her neighbor who has chickens, and a little bit of peaches. So I was very full from breakfast, so I didn't mind having a late lunch. Anyway, 6.2 miles to go to the parking lot where Julie said she would pick us up. I guess it would be me and Teaparty who's behind me, but I'm sure he'll catch up. And that'll be great because there's a busy road that we'd have to walk 0.3 to her hostel. And she offered to not let us do that, especially with the dog. So anyway, exciting. We hit 600 miles today. So we were all fist bumping. And I saw Magellan, I had just bumped into him. He was a hiker who I haven't seen since the Smokies. And I call him the dog whisperer too. He raises dogs at home, and he was the one who told me what to do for Micah when Micah was really sick with the diarrhea, with the pumpkin and the chicken and the mixing in with the kibble and so on and so forth. And I finally had a chance to see him again and thank him and tell him that how well it worked. So thank you again, Magellan. I'm so grateful to you. And it was wonderful to see him. He's really moving forward in his hike. He's going to be at the hostel tonight, he told me. So I'll get to see him again. And he's got to be in his 70s too. And these people are so inspiring to me, to see how they can just do this day in and day out. Anyway, so that's the story. The weather is still nice. It's a little cloudy right now, but that's okay. And no rain yet, although the buzzword is that there is rain happening the next few days, possibly. So, and we also saw a ton of bear scat along the trail right before the 600-mile mark. And in the shelter, there's always a log that people write in and say, hey, passing by or whatever. I don't always write in the logs, but Butters, who is another hiker I've seen, he wrote in the log with today's date saying, I saw my first bear right before the 600-mile mark. So that scat obviously was from that bear, and he said it was a baby, which, not really small, because it was not with its mother. But that makes sense because the scat was medium sized. It wasn't big, like you would expect from a full-sized bear. So anyway, okay, enough of my rambling. We are going to mosey on, and hope you're all having a wonderful Friday. Yay, it's Friday. All right, take care. Bye-bye. Hi there. As I'm walking around, I've been thinking about the things that I have learned from hiking in the South. I've never hiked in the South before. This is my first time being in the mountains, in the Southern Mountains, and it's been wonderful. It's definitely a cultural shift in terms of, the people and the language and all that. And so the things that I'm going to say right now are not intended at all to be disrespectful to anybody who is from the South or lives in the South, because I have been met with nothing but wonderful people, incredible hospitality along the way. But these are the 4 things so far that I have learned. Number 1, y'all is both plural and singular. That's number 1. Number 2, I actually learned what an Arnold Palmer is. I had no idea that it was something more than a famous golfer. It's actually a soft drink, half iced tea and half lemonade. Who knew? Number 3, anybody over the age of 30 will refer to anybody else over the age of 30 as ma'am or sir. So that means I am always a ma'am, and people I hike with are always sir. And it's very endearing. I don't mind it at all. It doesn't make me feel old. I think it's lovely. And the fourth thing I have learned, again, no disrespect to anybody who is from the South. When you're at a campsite and someone asks you for a ladder because they want to make a fire, they're not asking you to pull something out of your backpack that you can climb up to a tree to grab branches to help start the fire or to help smolder, to help the fire burn. They're asking you for something to start the fire, and that's a ladder. That's what I learned so far from being in the South. I'm sure there will be more, but this is what I've learned so far, and frankly, I absolutely love it. All right, carry on. Look at this. It's this suspension bridge over this river. One of the other hikers told me about it and said it really does rock and roll when you get on it. We'll see. Yep, it definitely moves. Not quite like the Verrazano, but it moves. Wow. Oh, I'm supposed to be holding my phone like this. Sorry. And there's the river. And there too. And this is gonna, ooh, it does definitely sway. That's cool. This is gonna take us to the parking lot, which is where Julie from, whoa, yeah. Baby, we are moving back and forth. From Weary Feet Hostel is gonna pick us up. I am gonna wait for Magellan and Teaparty. So, we're gonna hang out and wait for them.